Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel Akers and I am going to show you today how to make a pair of earrings using a leaf design. I've done a tutorial on this earlier, so if you haven't seen that yet, then please do hop on over to watch the tutorial on how to make these, because that will help ready to make these earrings. So this is a full leaf that we have made out of silver and a half leaf here. So you need a set of those because we're going to make a pair of earrings. So I've got those there and I'm going to show you the earrings that we're going to make. These ones are made from copper and they have rose quartz beads in varying sizes. Really pretty, and I don't make my earrings symmetrical, so I make them completely random. These two they don't have the same amount of beads on them, but love them, think they look really pretty earrings like that. But also you can make them in all sorts. This one is copper and amethyst, and I actually only made one of these because I quite like sometimes just to wear one earring to be a little bit different. So that one is using beads, but again, this is using silver wire, and what I've done is I've used some gemstone chips. These are amethyst gemstone chips. So they're all in a similar design, but using different coloured wire and all sorts. And this is my little exciting box of goodies that are all our what we call fastenings and earring hooks. So in here you can get all sorts of different colours. We've got the copper, the antique bronze, rose gold, we've got gilt, which is the gold colour. But obviously if we're making silver earrings, we're going to need some little silver hooks. Now these hooks are actually sterling silver, which is good for some people because they can have a reaction to the other types of wire. I've got quite sensitive skin and generally I'm fine with all of these, but I know there are certain people that do. So if you are making these for people, I'd recommend anyone with sensitivity to buy proper sterling silver hooks. Anything that you need to create these pieces is going to be in the description below, so you can click through and buy them if you want to. You will need a selection of beads, and today the beads I'm going to use are these really pretty little what we call peacock pearls. So they're meant to be black, but obviously because they're pearls they have this lovely colour to them where they in different lights they are purple, green and grey, and they're just really pretty little beads. Okay, so now we're going to start and I'm going to start with our full leaf, and we need a little length of our 26 gauge wire. So I've got into a little bit of a tangle. It's always fun, but such is life, it happens. So we don't need a massive amount. I'm going to cut approximately 50 centimetres. I'd rather have a little bit too much than enough. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with this, and I'm going to poke it through the top. I'm going to just wrap around, move that out of the way because it's getting in the way, and I'm just going to wrap this around here like this, pushing it down as I go so it's nice and tightly, firmly wrapped. And what I want to do is, I'm not going to measure this, I'm just going to randomly make a decision basically. So I'm going to now get one of our very pretty peacock beads and I'm going to feed it onto the wire, and then I'm going to continue to wrap up the wire like this. I think what I'm going to do, because I like them to be asymmetrical, is I'm going to probably put 4 on this one and maybe 3 on the other, but we'll make a decision as we go along. Might only do 2 on this one and 3 on the other, because I'm actually making these for my mum and she wants them a little bit shorter than I normally make them. So these will be a nice little present for her. So I want to use this side of the leaf where the centre is pointing up. So I'm going to try and make sure that when I add my beads that they are facing that way. So I'm going to wrap a little bit more. And we're going to pop on another bead. You can hear them rolling away from me. I'm going to make this one kind of sit perhaps just slightly to the side, and then I'm going to keep on wrapping. I think for this side that is going to be what I like to do, and that's going to be enough, sorry, didn't finish my sentence. I want these to be slightly shorter than the previous ones that I've made, so I'm actually going to stop there and I just leave these bits of wire kind of hanging off for now, because I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need just to finish it off and wrap around the hook, the earring hook. So what I need now is I need to get the half filled one. So here's our half filled leaf, which, as I said before, you can learn on the other tutorial how to make those. And what we're going to do is I'm going to just judge where I want to hang that. I'm going to say I want it coming from that side. I'm not going to wrap this one because I quite like the contrast. I like the wrapped bit and I like the unwrapped bit, and this one is just going to twist all the way up like so. I'm going to tuck it behind the other one, and then we've got the basis and the start of our piece. I actually think, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to add one more bead just at the top, and then I'm going to put the hook on. So I am going to grab another bead and I'm going to pop that on there, and I'm just going to secure it like so. And then what I want to do is I'm going to add the hook, and this piece I'm just going to bend out of the way because I don't need it, and this piece is where I'm going to put the hook. So I'm going to place it on here, and what I want to do is I want to make sure obviously that it hangs in the right direction. So I'm then just going to use my fingers. I don't want to use a tool at the moment because it could damage the piece, could damage the hook. I'm just going to bend that over and I'm going to hold it up to make sure that it actually just hangs in the direction that I want it to hang, which, yeah, so far it is. And then I need to take the excess pieces and I need to wrap them around the top. Now, because these are not going to be symmetrical, it doesn't matter too much what you do with the finish at the top, but I would say try to keep it similar on both earrings just so that it has a nice finish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this piece around a couple of times, making sure I keep the hook out of the way, like so, and then I can cut off the excess really close to the base. Just make sure that I squeeze that little bit down there so that it doesn't, what we want to make sure is we don't squeeze the wire too tight because we want the hook to be flexible. We don't want the hook to be rigidly stuck in there so that it doesn't swing around, because with a pair of earrings you want it to kind of move around a little bit. So I'm trying to just squeeze the end away but not squeeze the hook too tightly, if that makes sense. This piece just needs to be tucked away. I'm not going to use that bit, I'm just going to cut that off. So I know that I've done 3 little tucks around the top, and I'll try and do a similar thing on the other earring. Now I didn't hold on to the end of that and it's just flown off and hit the carpet, so I'm going to have to go searching for that in a bit. So remember when I said on my other videos, hold on to the end when you cut it, because that's what happens. Tucking this away, I'll just hold this here for you so you can see. Tucking away that piece of wire there so that it doesn't stab anyone. And then I've still got this thinner piece of 26 gauge, so I'm just going to wrap it a couple of times around the top, just because it finishes it off quite nicely and just makes it look a bit prettier. So just keep that wrapping around. And there is our first earring. So as I said to you before, I quite like making just one. I think it's quite quirky just to wear one earring, but I am going to make two for you today so that you can see. So we'll get the next ones, and this one I'm going to make slightly differently. I'm going to start with the half because I want the half to be at the bottom so that these are completely asymmetrical and we don't have a matching pair. You can make them matching if you want to. Now I'm looking for my silver wire. It's over here. Moved it out the way. Again, we're going to take a little length of wire, chop it off, and we're going to do exactly the same thing again. We're going to wrap, starting from the bottom, and oh, that just fell out. Right, hold on tight and wrap around the bottom. I'm going to start by going a little bit further up this time and perhaps only put 2 beads on this one. Just my personal preference. You don't have to do that at all if you don't want to. I can feel a little sharp bit there and that's really don't want that. So just while I'm able and feeling it, I'm going to get rid of it by using the pliers. Perfect. There we go. And keep going. And now I think I'm going to add my first bead onto there like that. Sorry about that, I feel like I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. And then we continue wrapping. Push it down. It's nice and secure, bead's not going to fall off at all. Keep on wrapping it round. Now what I do want to do, because you actually don't want them to be completely different lengths, you may not want them to be symmetrical, but you do want them to be a similar length. So I'm just going to see how long I made that one. Measure it against the other one and then keep going. And I'm going to pop one more bead on there, I think. Let me just have a look again. Measuring the length. Maybe a little bit further along. And pop my other bead on there. Happening. Wrap that around. So now we're getting to the finishing point of this second one. Again, I'm going to leave the excess on there because we don't know how much we're going to need when we finish it off. So I'm just going to have a look and see if that's long enough. So if I lay that next to the other one, oh, that just took a flip. Yep, that's about right, because as you can see, where I've finished that one comes to where that has just stopped. So I'm going to get my other full leaf and it's going to sit a little bit higher up on here. And I'm just going to wrap it around exactly the same process as I did before. And we are nearly there. So there is the second one, and we just need to make sure again that we're going to finish it off at a similar place in order to make them the same length. So again, we're going to feed that one on and just gently bend that one out of the way because we don't need it at the moment. Just gently bend that down and make sure that the earring is free to swing again. I'm going to check the length again, make sure if I hold those two, if you can see, if I hold those two together where the hooks are, they are of a similar length. Happy with that. Now I know that I'm happy with that, I can finish this off, so give that a little bit of a squeeze. Try and move that hook out of the way. I'm going to use my fingers again because I don't want to break anything. Now if you remember on the first one we wrapped it maybe 3 times, so I'm just going to wrap this around 3 times and move the other bit out of the way. And we're going to cut this off at the back like we did last time. Hold on to the end so it doesn't fly across the room. We're going to get rid of both ends there. And then we're going to squash it down a little bit just so there's no sharp edges. Not going to hurt anyone with our jewellery. Just checking. Twist that around a little bit. Good thing about this is if it is slightly not where you wanted it, you can just move it around. Yep, I've twisted that back into place. And again, I'm just going to twist this 26 gauge wire around the top just to finish it off. And then I've got a little bit too much, so I'll cut that off and make sure that's properly tucked away so we can't see it. And there you have it. So we've got an asymmetrical, definitely not even, but very, very pretty pair of leaf and pearl bead earrings. And I will hold them up for you so that you can see. And there we go, we're done. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I know I enjoy making them. If you want to see how to make the leaves as I suggested before, you can follow the link after this video. If you're enjoying what you're watching, please do subscribe, hit the like button, let me know what your thoughts are, let me know what you think. I'm really excited to see your make, so please do show me if you have made these. Send a picture to me, add a comment, and let me know if you want any other tutorials. If there's anything you see me wearing that you'd quite like to see me make, I'm happy to do that for you. And I'll catch you again soon.